Well, I guess this is it, guys. Hope y'all are doing well. Episode 4 of How Bearded Got Type 1 Diabetes. I know y'all have been waiting on this moment here. I know it has been this week has been very informative to some of you guys, and I appreciate y'all for sticking around with me on my journey and getting to know more about me and type 1 diabetes. But before we get into it, just remember, I will be giving you guys a recap on episode 1, 2, and 3. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So episode 1 was kind of beginning everything. You guys learned about my symptoms. I got the first 3 of the 4 T's: thirsty, toilet, and tired. I got those on day 1. Day 2 was the doctor's visit, where I learned about the 4th T, where I was thinner. Episode 3 is when I had my first, carb counting meal with Subway, and I ended up throwing it back up. And now on to episode 4. So this one is probably going to be the longest of the 2 and the most difficult one, because there was a lot that happened on this day. So just bear with me. I'm going to get through it. So this is January 31st, 2018. I wake up to get ready for work. I'm out of it. I am just completely out of it. I felt very exhausted. I was very tired. I felt like a zombie. I felt a little nauseous in my stomach as well. So I called my dad because I knew he had to work that day and his job was on my side of town. So called him. I was like, hey, Dad, I'm not feeling well. Can you bring me some crackers and a Sprite? Because I don't know about you white people. Not to sound, anything. But I don't know about y'all white folks. But us black folks, when we feel sick, we either get ginger ale and crackers or Sprite and crackers. Maybe it's a southern thing. I don't know. But anyway, my dad brings over Sprite and some crackers. I get up. I get dressed. Out of it. I go to work. And honestly, I really wanted to call out sick. I had 2-3 appointments that day. I did work at a car dealership, but I had 2 or 3 appointments that day, and I knew 2 of them were pulling the trigger on a vehicle. So I was like, I gotta go make this money. Do what I gotta do. So I go in, and all sees me. He's like, "You okay, man?" I was like, "Man, I don't know what's going on. I'm just tired right now. I'm tired. I'm feeling a little nauseous, but it's not that bad where it's gonna put me under." So my customers, who happen to be repeat customers at that, they show up, they look at a car, we test drive and everything, they love the car, they want to get some numbers. All right, cool. So I get up from my office, I go into my manager's office, and I'm like, hey, I want to see numbers. Bro, I'm really not feeling like I'm not here right now. Do you mind going to present the numbers for me? He's like, sure, no problem. So I'm sitting in his office, and I got the Sprite with me because I'm still feeling a little queasy. And next thing I know, I ended up throwing up in his trash can. And so by the time that I finished throwing up in his trash can, I got up, tied the bag up, was going to take it to the dumpster in the back. He was like, hey, did you throw up? I was like, yeah, man. He's like, go home. I was like, okay. So I go home. Mind you, still out of it, and I drove back home. Luckily, I only live minutes from work, right? I make it home, and I should have prefaced this in the first episode, but I lived in a townhouse, so obviously, the bathroom was upstairs, room, kitchen, all that downstairs. I walk in the door. My room, again, is upstairs. I didn't even make it to my room. By that time, my lower back, this right here, was on fire. Pain. I pulled something, I had, a bone in my back. I didn't know what was going on. So I ended up laying on the couch in the fetal position the entire day. Did not move at one time. So I called my mom while she's at work, and I'm like, hey, I don't feel good. My back is hurting. I can't move, blase. So she was like, okay, when I get off of work, I'm going to bring you some food. I'll get you a salad so that way you can eat. That'll help you feel better. She brings me a salad, and she was like, all right, I'm going to go to church. If you throw up again, and I'll come pick you up. Okay. So she leaves. She goes to church. I still sitting there because I'm basically watching TV at this point. I was like, okay, let me get up. Let me try to eat something. Now, because I had thrown up at work, I brought my trash can in there with me just in case it happened again. So I get up, I fix the salad. It was a seafood salad. I didn't put no dressing on it, which I'm still good because it had, meat and shrimp and all that stuff. But that's besides the point. I take 2 bites of the salad, 2 bites, throw it back up again. And I was like, okay, really wrong at this point. So I text my mom because when it happened, she was still in church. So I text mom and I was like, hey, I threw up again. She said, okay, I'll come pick you up when I get out. So after church, she comes and picks me up. I don't even remember if I grabbed any clothes to take to my parents' house. I don't remember at all. So go home. I go in my little bedroom. I lay down like I'm completely out of it. Like I went in and out like the whole ride there. Like I was just almost like I was dozing off, but I wouldn't sleep. We make it to my parents' house. I lay down in the bed, and our neighbor, who happened to go to church with us as well, he comes over to check on me. Now, little did I know, he was diabetic as well. So he brought over his sugar meter, his glucometer. I can never pronounce that, but sugar reader. We're gonna use that term, sugar reader. So he brings that over, and he takes my sugar, my blood or whatever, to read my sugar. I don't even feel him prick me at all. So he takes it. He looks at my parents, and he's like, "We need to get him to the hospital right now." And he was like, "His sugar is 400." And if he could go into a diabetic coma right now if we don't get him over there. So I hear my mom like, all right, you need to get up. Let's get to the car. So that's what we do. We walk over to the car, drive me to the hospital. I'm still kind of, out of it. So we get an ER, check in. The nurses bring me to the back. They put me on the table. And they're trying to, blood. They're trying to find my veins. They could not find my veins in either arm, right? They stuck me like times before they finally found a vein to use. So they drew blood, me up to the IVs, put some saline in me, my sugar down to a normal rate. They ended up putting me in ICU. They put me in the ICU room. And still out of it. Like I don't know what the heck is going on. I just know I am way out of it. But they told me that I was dehydrated. I was like severely dehydrated. So they put me full of saline, all that good stuff. They put me out. It was a crazy time. Now the doctor at the time that was there that night comes in and checks on me. My parents are there, and he was like, tell me what led up to this, and parents kind of explained the best way they could, because again, I'm just out of it. The doctor was like, well, we're gonna let him get his rest overnight, and then come back in the morning. Now, I'm actually going to do February 1st as well, because again, that was the day that I really found out that I had diabetes. Wednesday night, the 31st, was kind of up to the 1st, right? So the next day, the doctor comes in. My godmother's there to check on me. So doctor comes in, and he was, what went last night. And he says that, went into a state called DK. That stands for diabetic ketoacidosis. And basically, the way he explained it was there's ketones in your body that can show up in your bloodstream or your urine, and poisonous. So it is lucky that you guys got him here last night when you did, because if y'all would have gotten him then you guys would have, he could have potentially went into a diabetic coma, or he could have passed away. And the room gets silent from the fact that they heard pass away, you know. So very scary thought. Was like, this way all my life, I'm healthy for the most part. The fact that this is happening to me and I could have, from this, it's very, very scary thought. And so, he was like, he has type 1 diabetes. So this is what we're going to, you guys do. I need to check his sugar every day, make sure he's in a certain range and things of that nature. Prescribe him this medicine, and we're going to get him scheduled a nutritionist or a dietitian rather, so he'll know how to carb count, he'll know how to portion his meals. Then we're going to get him to an endocrinologist. That way he'll have somebody that can check his A1C, that can check his blood sugar and kind of get back on the right track. So because when I went in, my A1C was 12%, and that is really, really high, right? A1C is supposed to be around 6 or 7%, and mine being 12, I was full on diabetic at this point. So, yeah, that was a long story, but at least now you know how Bearded got diabetes. And encourage you guys, if y'all are watching this series, thank y'all so much. But I definitely want to encourage everyone, whether you have diabetes, whether you know someone that has diabetes, show them this video. Why not? I'm a living testimony. And a lot of people that may be struggling with it, just let them know. They're not alone at all. I'm here to encourage y'all. I'm here to encourage those that have type 1 diabetes. Y'all may have had it longer than I've had it. You're strong tomorrow. I've known people that has had it since they were kids, since they were babies, and they're still going. It'll be a struggle sometimes, but I will say never give up on it. Look, it's going to be a special day for me. We're actually going to celebrate. If you didn't get to hear the entire series, I'm putting all these videos together. I'm putting all these videos together into one big video. We're going to watch it together. But I'm also going to give y'all an update tomorrow on how things have been going. Like, matter of fact, I'm going to do it from the day that I went to my endocrinologist up until now. So stick around, stay tuned. It's going to be a great time. Again, thank y'all so much for taking the time to look at this series and just educate yourself a little bit more about diabetes and how you can help. This is Bearded, signing off.